My name is Kadeja, and in May of 2025, I boarded the Disney Treasure. This video is for anyone who is about to sail on the Disney Treasure, comparing any of the Disney cruise ships, or just want to know a first point POV of everything that's happening on the Disney Treasure, Disney's newest cruise ship. It was absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to get into it. Disney Treasure is the 6th boat on the Wish class. I was on the sailing of the first year of the ship. And it looked like it. Like, everything on the ship was pristine. I loved the design of it. The staterooms were super clean and nice. The movie theaters, the entertainment zones, even the top deck. So I've been on a few cruises in my time. I've been on a Carnival cruise before. That's my only point of reference. So I get it. Like, anything was going to be a huge step up from that. But let's start from the top. When we got onto the ship, embarkation was really smooth. We took the Disney transportation. We were staying on a Disney property the day before, and we took the bus to Port Canaveral to board the Disney Treasure, and it was seamless. We were the only ones in the port of call. Make sure you have all of your information. We checked in super smooth. They took our bags straight off of the bus, and we boarded seamlessly. We had the arrival time, we probably stayed there for about an hour or so. Make sure you have all of your paperwork and whatnot. Wish I did bring like a change of clothes or my bathing suit or something, because it did take a little while to get all of our items onto the stateroom. Our staterooms didn't open until like 3, 4-ish maybe. And by that time we were, really excited to get on the boat and get started with our day, but we were stuck with what we had on and also had to lug everything around, so pack light on that day as well. So when we first got on, we just kind of wandered around, got familiar with everything. And the first thing that you can do is go down to the kids club. I went with my sisters and my 8-year-old niece, so she was super excited to see everything. And when you get on board, that's probably one of the few times that you'll be able to go down to the kids club as an adult. So me and my sisters made sure to take advantage of that, and it was really cool theming. I highly suggest, if you're an adult that is not going with kids, or you have kids, take advantage of the open house so that you can see everything that's on the ship. Downstairs they had the kids club, where before you can even step in, you had this really cool like hand washing station, which I think is super important for kiddos. And they also had that upstairs in Marceline Market, so before you went around in the dining area, you could wash your hands. They had like a princess play area. They had a Star Wars one, a Marvel one, and then like the little tiny kids could be in something that was Toy Story themed. I thought it was really cute and something to see on the boat. We saw the Skipper Society, which is themed behind the Jungle Cruise for Disney. And then we saw the Haunted Mansion parlor, which is like themed attraction behind the Haunted Mansion, which is a classic Disney attraction, and it did not disappoint. Me and my sisters I toured it once when I took the original tour, again when I took like the guided tour for the boat, and another time, and then we had drinks in there twice. So it is one of my favorite spaces. It is really cool, not super scary, but the con, I would say, like, they let the kids go in there. It's like family friendly, I don't know. As we continue with some of the theming on the boat that I really thought was cool, Sarabi area, which is where they play bingo, and apparently it's the club area. If you're getting on the Disney cruise, you should already know that, girl, you're probably ain't gonna be a lot of partying. But I thought that some of the attractions that they hosted in there were super cute, and it's open air. I think it's a little awkwardly designed because it's kind of like a square, and then they have like a balcony atrium around it, but hey, it works. The Periscope Pub, I didn't spend much time in there. It's kind of like their sports bar. Moving on to the theaters, which is where I spent majority of my time. They have 2 theaters on the Disney Treasure. One is themed after Alice in Wonderland, and one is themed after Neverland and Peter Pan. Both are so cute. We had Moana 2, Lilo and Stitch, which was brand new at the time, and Captain America, as well as Thunderbolt. Pro tip, if you're gonna go use a theater, try to go at night, especially if you're older like me and you could stay up past 9, 10 o'clock. Go ahead and go at the later shows, because those theaters were packed during the day, especially on C days. The other theater entertainment space that they have on board is the Walt Disney Theater. It's amazing. It's huge, like literally the same size as some of the entertainment spaces that I've been to in DC. That's where we saw Tales of Moana, They had all of the, you know, comedians, magicians, everybody performed there, and I thought it was a gorgeous space. Upstairs on the pool deck, they have the really large screens where you can watch Disney movies all day while you're in the pool. They had the adult zone had a jacuzzi and a pool, and then on the other end it was another pool that was available for everyone. But when I tell you, like, mostly everybody just stayed in the middle. So if you're the person to go on the further ends, especially if you're an adult by yourself, like, you're able to find like a chill pool that's not overrun by kids. On that top deck as well, you'll find like the buffet area with pizza, tacos, ice cream, a bar, and barbecue. Everything was pretty good. I did not end up eating the tacos. My sister said that they weren't that great. I think it was themed as Donald's Cantina. Pizza though, pizza and chicken tenders. Yeah, Disney knows what they're doing with the pizzas and the chicken tenders. The other option for dining, for the all-day type dining, was Marceline Market. I enjoyed that space. It did get a little crowded, especially in the morning and towards the end in the afternoon when it was wrapping up for the day. But the hours were weird as well, which I didn't really like, because I seem like I've only ate there on a 7-day cruise. I only ate there like once or twice for lunch, but breakfast, I had to get there every day. So let's get into Disney dining, which I think is amazing. Again, like, my point of reference is not that great, but when I tell you, like, the food was so good on the Disney Treasure. So Disney Treasure has rotational dining, which is something that I've never experienced, but I think is an amazing idea, because a lot of times on cruise ships, like, when you're stuck to one main dining area, it gets overcrowded, it gets a little overstimulating. I love that they split everybody up into these 3 different dining areas, and on a 7-day cruise, you're able to go everywhere twice and one place 3 times. Whichever restaurant that is your first restaurant, that's the restaurant that you'll be able to dine at 3 times on a 7-day cruise. For us, that space was 1923, which is their fine dining, white linen type vibe. I love the space. It's very much so, I think they, if you've ever been on any other Disney cruise, I think they call it Animator's Palette, because around you'll see sketches of some of the Disney movies of the past. Where we were sitting, you can kind of get a glimpse of the water. 1923 also offers breakfast, which I definitely took advantage of. That's one thing that I learned on the Carnival cruise. Like, if they have breakfast dining, sit down dining, 9 times out of 10, it's better for my nervous system if one day I take advantage of that, where I'm not like tussling with kids for waffles in the morning. If you're an early riser, you can go there, get seated, get served, just like any other restaurant. So I love that part. Part that I'm going to talk about is World of Marvel, which is obviously their superhero Marvel themed restaurant. It would be my least favorite as far as food, but I am a Marvel girly, so I thought it was super cool to see some of the interactive things that they did there. The next spot is Coco. I think it's just called Coco. I don't know what's the name of it, but let's just say it's themed after Coco, and it is a huge plaza, like a Mexican plaza, and in the middle you have a show. Coco and his grandmother are up there singing. They have Miguel. I thought it was so cool, but the way that we are kind of seated, you may not have the best like view of the stage to me, and sometimes it was kind of hard to follow what was happening when you're trying to give your order. All the things are happening, but I thought it was really interactive and super cool to see them move around the stage. It was a performance while you're eating, and the food was so good. Like, they had chips and salsa, enchiladas, different drinks. Coco first, Marceline Market, then Marvel. That's my rating. I touched a little bit about the lounges and bars on board, and obviously I had not obviously, but I had a lot to drink. I am a 30-some-year-old girl that was on vacation for 7 days. I did go with my sisters and my niece, so we did have a kid in the group, but I was free reign to do what I want. And I spent a lot of money on drinks, y'all. I think by the end, I probably spent like $200-300 on total, just for everything that I was doing on the boat, including drinking, merchandise that I purchased, anything like that. Yeah, I wish that Disney had some type of drink package. Yeah, maybe 2 to 3 drinks a day for this price or something. So that is like one of my cons. Like, what's going on with the Disney adults? We can't get no drink package, y'all. Only drink that I will say I probably did not need, because it didn't have any alcohol in it, is the Wheezy's Freezies on by the Toy Story area. It was really, really cute, but I feel like it was one of those purchases that I got just for the theming, but I didn't need it. Everything else was cool. They do have a drink of the day, which I think I should have spent more time doing than just buying drinks like I was at a regular bar. So make sure you tap into that. They have like $5 to $8 drinks every day, $10 max. Yeah, so save you some money and stick to the drinks of the day. Or they also have this thing where you can bring your booze on board. I'm the type of girl like, look, I ain't carrying no extra stuff on vacation, but if you look into their policy, you are able to bring, I think, 1 bottle of wine, a case of 10 or something like that. But watch your spending. If you're a drinker like me, I do feel like that is the one thing that I spent the most money on while on board. As far as staterooms go, we had a room with the balcony, ocean front. It was gorgeous. I was a family of 4. My niece had the bunk bed. My sister slept on the pull-out couch, and me and my other sister slept on the queen size bed, and it was so comfortable. I got some of the best sleep, y'all. My favorite feature was that they separated the bathroom from the shower, which was super helpful as far as like us taking turns trying to get ready in such a tight quarters. And the balcony area was super nice as well. Like the view was amazing and it was very spacious. I would say like we didn't spend that much time in the room. By the time it was time to go to bed, we were in there going to bed or just resting. There's also a lot of storage space, which I thought was great. As a group of girls, we put everything in the closet, hung things up. My sister brought these magnetic hooks that were really helpful for just putting up your jacket, putting up your bathing suit. So yeah, that is another thing too I would like to mention. Bring a jacket. I don't think I brought enough like lounge wear for the boat because the AC is on. You think you're going to like this Caribbean island that maybe you'll need a lot of summer wear, but I wish I brought like a pair of leggings, a pair of sweatpants, because especially on those sea days in between bathing suits, you could really just wear a jacket. Call it a day. All right, let's talk about ports of call and itineraries. For me, I was on the 7-day Eastern Caribbean tour, which took us to the British Virgin Islands, and that was amazing for me. The only other cruises that I've been on usually go to the customary like Cozumel, Bahama type vibe. We had 2 sea days on this tour. Then we went to Tortola, British Islands. We went to St. Thomas. And then we went to Disney Castaway Cay in the Bahamas. With this particular tour, you're gonna get 2 sea days on the front half of your cruise. And when I tell you, I was ready to get off that boat by day 2. Not to say that the boat wasn't amazing, but it was just time to touch land, you know what I mean? And maybe like the first couple days, I was getting a little nauseous. And my sisters, who that was their first time cruising, didn't have an issue with it. Crazy. Our first port of call was Tortola. On this particular tour, I did not buy any excursions. I just wanted to go out and vibe. I knew my sisters wouldn't be down, and I wasn't really trying to dish out any additional funds, to be honest. So a lot of times at these ports, I feel like the excursions with all the transportation and things included, they kind of give you a little bit of a ripoff, in my opinion. And if you just go out on the island, you're able to book these same tours at a bit of a discount. So for Tortola, we did just that. I went out and we were about to buy a tour with some gentlemen on a taxi, but it was just taking too long. And my sisters weren't really interested. So anyway, I went back off of the boat, got off, and did an excursion on my own to the baths. It took me, I had to go book a ferry for like $30 there and back. And the tour was actually free. It was a little bit adventurous, I will say, but it was amazing and really, really pretty to see. So if you're like me and want to save some money and kind of do some things independently, that is an option, especially on Tortola. The second island that we went to was St. Thomas, and that was just shopping, girl. As soon as you get off of the port, they had this amazing market that had everything that you can imagine. Me and my sisters bought some Crocs for like $10, and it was really cool. That was one of the shortest ports that we only had a couple hours. So it was cute just to see like the port and walk around, get off the boat, and get back on. The last port was Disney Castaway Cay. And y'all, this is probably my biggest con, which is no fault of the actual trip or Disney Treasure at all, but someone got sick or something. I don't know. We didn't get the full POV. And they had to get the National Guard to come get them off of the boat. So that delayed us from getting to Disney's Castaway Cay. We were supposed to get there at like 10 a.m. We didn't get off of the boat till like 1, 2 the next day and had to be back on by 4. I was so mad because this literally was the highlight port of the trip. It was so nice. Even those few hours that we spent on there really made all of the difference. They had like 3 different beaches. One that was specifically for kids and families. They had like this huge water slide. The other one that had this beautiful bay for like the water to come up on you. And then they had the adult only zone, Serenity. I think it's called Serenity Bay. Y'all, I've never seen such a beautiful beach. You could literally walk out for at least a couple feet out into the ocean and the water was just like waist deep, crystal clear. It was beautiful. And I wish we had more time to spend there. Another con about that space is like they have a lot of modes of transportation, but it is a lot of walking. They do have trams that take you to the different spaces on the beach, and you can book a bike, and people were walking, running, exercising on the boat, on the beach. But that was the only con. It took a while, like, to just get around and get out there. The last piece that I want to talk about is like getting off of the boat, like the last day. It was kind of chaotic, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I washed all of my clothes the day before, and I would highly suggest not doing that if you want to use the laundry services on board, which I thought was really, really cool. Like, I need to start doing that on vacation in general. I thought it was really cool because once you put your laundry in, the phone app will let you know, oh, your clothes are done. So that was amazing. But it still was like a million people in there trying to wash their clothes, y'all. But the embarkation day, it was the longest line ever. Me and my sisters just went ahead and got breakfast, took our time because our flight wasn't until later in the day, so we weren't rushing. But the line was literally like wrapped around the building to get off of the boat, and it moved fast, but it was just a bit chaotic to see all those people in one space in the atrium trying to maneuver. It was just a lot. All right, y'all, so that is my POV of the Disney Treasure, and I think we're here at this point where I give you my pros and cons and my final perspective on if this cruise is worth it. And I will say, let me be completely transparent. I won this cruise, and it was an amazing blessing to win this cruise. And I cannot say that as a woman in her 30s, would I spend upward of $5,000 on this cruise at the price point of everything that we were able to see, do, the stateroom, like all of that is priced really, really high. And that's, I'm not going to get into all of the things and reasons why I think like cruises like this should be more affordable for people that look like me and families that look like me. But I will say that if I had the funds, Disney is doing cruise line entertainment the right way, from the food to the entertainment to the people on board to the theming to the ports. Like, everything was 10 out of 10, and I really don't have any notes, and I wish I could go again. Like, it literally has me wanting to save up thousands of dollars just to go on a cruise like this again. It was amazing. And I will justify the cost by just breaking down everything that was included, all the food, all the entertainment. Like, I do understand the price point, but it is a smidge high. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. It is a little bit high. But Disney Treasure is one of the newest cruise ships. I believe another one is setting sail very, very soon. So maybe like the prices will drop, or maybe you can go on one of the older ships. All right, y'all. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. I'm Kadeja, and this is my POV of the Disney Treasure. I had an amazing time, and I really hope that this video gets you excited for your Disney cruise or helps you decide if you want to book the Disney Treasure. All right, see y'all next time.